we have had an Islamic charity organization banned in the UK, and brother had a role in this. You gotta guess what brother could it be?
Zakir Naik?
Yes.
Well, your impression is so good. How can I not know?
It's actually not that good, but I think it's
not,
probably one of the
not
easiest
bad.
ones.
Yeah,
I think it's very,
it is, to be fair.
it is very easy.
Christian Prince also smashes it. I crack up.
Everyone can smash it. I think brothers are like anyone can be smashed. Okay, so commission orders the winding up of charity funding TV programs which encouraged hate speech and violence. So you guessed it right. So this organization, the charity, was actually funding the Peace TV. Look at the names. The Peace.
I was going to say it's either TV. Islam TV or Peace TV in the UK. Which one was it?
Or they probably misspelled the spell peace. You know, it's Pieces TV maybe. So anyway, so the charity commission has found misconduct and or mismanagement by the trustees of Islamic Research Foundation International, IRFI. This includes the decision to continue to fund Peace TV channels despite several breaches of Ofcom's broadcasting code. IRFI was registered in 2007 with the aim of advancing the faith and religious practices of Islam. Doesn't it always? That's always the goal, that we're going to educate the masses about our beautiful religion, Islam. So anyway, it's principle.
But you have to be one of those things to get that charity status, right? And it's annoying because we're trying to change this as well as like what constitutes a charity. For the purposes of a charity, you are allowed to be advancing a religious like agenda as well, which is annoying because we're trying to clap back on that.
Yeah. But
yeah, sorry, carry on.
Its principal. No. Feel free to comment. Its principal focus and expenditure had been to support Peace TV channels. So it's got multiple ones, and you'll be surprised to see the amount of money that goes through. We are nothing, and they throw insults at us about this money and the super chat and Patreon.
Try and silence us as well, and they've got their TVs raking it in channels 24 hours. Yeah.
At the pain of death. Not that these guys are not getting any death threats. We're getting death threats as well. We have a legitimate security concern. So you'll be shocked to see the amount of money that is involved in these ordinary charities that don't even have legitimate offices. They're probably working from home, and this money's coming in from all these masjids, these mosques, and all these people are just giving their yearly zakat there. And wait till you see the actual amount of money that's involved. So the commission opened an inquiry into IRFI in April 2020 after engagement with the trustees about the charity's governance and the report of a serious incident regarding the media regulator Ofcom's investigation into Peace TV channels. So by the way, just for a bit of a context, Zakir Naik has been regarded as a hate speaker by the UK government. He's banned from entering Britain. So it is so anything that has anything to do with him would always have it's asking for trouble, basically. So that's the reason why they've said that you can't donate to Peace TV. Between 2015 and 2020, just 5 years, 96% of the charity's expenditure, amounting to around £3.6 million, was granted to Universal Broadcasting Company, the parent company of the Peace TV channels, 2 license holders. Zakir Naik's company, United Broadcasting Company, was given £3.6 million. Nuria, can you believe this?
Yeah, sadly I can. I can't believe it. It's just so unfortunate. This is ridiculous. But yeah, there's no shortage of money flooding into.
Nuria, this guy. Look at him. He's a multi-millionaire. And he's doing like this. And what am I doing? I'm doing something very good for this guy.
The guy's literally a criminal according to some countries, right? Even like what? Where is he hiding?
He's wanted in India.
Yeah, because
exactly. And this is his son.
He's wanted.
And this is
Yeah, I
his
know.
son.
Wasn't he? Didn't he do that open proposal for his to find his son a bride? Yeah.
Yes.
Joker.
This guy is rolling. Look at this. I'm sure he's got some penthouses everywhere. This guy. I mean, yeah, not bad, huh? You wouldn't have been able to play in millions of pounds had you just stuck with your medical degree, being a medical professional. But he found a better way to preach religion
By
and
spreading hate and terrorism. Sure. That is his
look at him.
chosen ways.
And he told his son, "Hey son, this is good business. Let's just stick with that.
Keep it in the family." Yeah.
I can't believe this. And what does he need the money for? I thought his Peace TV has the largest viewership in the world for any religious TV. Doesn't he get commercials and endorsements or whatever? What does he need the money for? Because that I'm sure that so this money goes and he probably pays himself a hefty, through some offshore accounts or what are they called?
Is that what you're trying to say?
So yes,
yeah.
So that's where the 3.6 million pounds. I just don't get it. What does he need the money for? Some of the charity's trustees had been directors of companies within this group structure, whilst also acting as trustees of the charity. The inquiry saw no evidence that conflicts of interest were appropriately identified and managed.
Yes, exactly. That's a massive conflict of interest right there. How are you trying to do that without putting it into writing and following due process? Very shady.
There you go. There, the brother is about to make an appearance. Prior to the inquiry opening, the commission disqualified by order the charity's founder and one of its trustees, Brother Dr. Zakir Naik, from acting as a trustee and from holding senior management functions in any charity in England and Wales. This was appealed to the charity tribunal, which ruled in its decision of 4th of December 2020 that he should be disqualified for 7.5 years.
Good.
So yeah, this is they dare tell us about money, but look at this. This guy Zakir Naik, he's been rolling in cash for quite some time, and I don't know if he had any if he got to make a lot of money out of preaching Islam, but Zakir Naik took it to the next level. He made an actual TV channel, and where his speeches and lectures were he came up with a new style. Like he'll just quote these verses, which are like you can do that in one day, maybe. Like the arguments that you build, and especially when you know what you're going to talk about. He did that. He would quote verses. He'd quote hadith numbers, and people thought, "Oh wow, this is amazing," and he made a lot of money out of it. But if you go through his YouTube channel, even though he has millions of subscribers, but he doesn't get any views anymore. His videos get 10, 15K views. And this is a guy who used to brag about, unless you can fill a huge stadium, I'm not going to debate with you. This is what he used to say. He even said, oh, Sam Harris and Richard Dawkins, these guys, they're beneath me. He's never debated with an atheist, though, by the way.
Yeah. How arrogant, first of all, how arrogant do you have to be to think that somebody is beneath you like that, especially when you're pointing at people who are literally contributing to like furthering intellectualism or science or whatever it is, like Richard Dawkins. If you're trying to play to your ego by putting Richard Dawkins down, you really need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. But what I want to say about Zakir Naik is that, I'm not surprised that he's rolling in it, and I'm not surprised that that amount of money was funded under the guise of a charity for Islam TV, Peace TV. Sorry, this guy's been problematic since everything kicked off with him in India as well. I think a couple of months ago now, probably the better part of a year, there will also talk about Peace TV, and some of the transmissions it aired was pulled back because of it was inciting violence, or it was a call to beyond what Zakir Naik says. If you are not a Muslim and you actually hear it, some of the things that he says in passing, they can be extremely dangerous as ideas and insightful. We know that, he's got no issues with terrorism. He knows the real reality of Islam. But yeah, so even then they were having problems with the content that was being generated on Peace TV. And like these are platforms that like my grandparents watch like for hours of the day. You know what I mean? And like if you're hearing that stuff and it's just casually going into your unconscious and you don't think it's problematic at all, imagine how much more that's just gonna like program your mind in that way. But Zakir Naik was clever in one sense, like credit where credit's due. He probably found like this gap in the market and thought, you know what,
Oh
like you
yeah.
have all these televangelists in America, and you've got these Christian televangelists who use that platform and take on this persona, and it's almost like motivational speaking, but for your religious sheeple, if you will. So he got the whole mic and let me fill up these auditoriums and crowds, and he really played that game of like numbers matter. How many Muslims am I going to like bring to Islam today? It's always about, it was this show. It was never about genuinely like going head to head and having some level of international intellectual like profoundness to the conversation. Like if we watch videos now of that one atheist guy just challenged Zakir Naik and asked him one question back, and we're so tired of Zakir Naik saying evolution is just a theory. No, mate, you don't even know what theory means in science. Let's like stop this now. Let's just stop this. You cannot infantilize people and tell them answers like, oh, evolution is just a theory, and expect that not to be a follow-up question, or for you to lose a large portion of your hopefully what is intelligent following. But yeah, the guy is extremely problematic, and it's sad that wasn't surprising for me to read as an article. But good, finally. If you like these videos and want to support me in my activism, then you can support me on Patreon or PayPal. Stay free, everyone.